Okay, this is Cameron back for part two of my vinyl collection bands or albums starting with the letter Y. I'll get right into it. Steve York, who played with East of Eden and Manfred Mann's Chapter 3, his album from 1973, Manor Live. Now here's a great sampling of some of the garage bands out of Toronto, 1967. Yorkville Evolution has Ugly Ducklings, Ronnie Hawkins, Stitching Time, Sugar Shop, Big Town Boys, Majestics, Terry Black, Richie Knight and the Midnights, Quiet Jungle, which is my favorite on this album, Little Caesar and the Consuls, and Susan Taylor. So I don't know how common this is to find in the States, but it's still available here in Canada if you look in record stores, not in thrift shops. It used to be. Okay, again, getting into the diversity of my tastes. I have, you can tell the world about this, classic ethnic recordings from the 1920s, so mainly European derived ethnic music. This came out on a small label, I think associated with Shanachie, it looks like it. It's called Morning Star Records. Now from Savoy Brown, Chris Yulden, City Child. This came out in 1974. Now, I guess what would be considered post-punk, the sole original album by the Young Marble Giants, Colossal Youth. Now from the Youngbloods, 3 albums by Jesse Colin Young. The first one, Light Shine, which came out in 1970, let's just see, 74. Got a couple of copies of this. Followed by Love on the Wing from 1977. And then American Dreams from 1979. One of the later albums of Jesse Colin Young. Sort of a folk rock style, not quite as, a little more slicker from the sounds of Youngbloods. Now, I'm from the actual neighborhood where Neil Young grew up in Winnipeg, and I'm embarrassed to say I only have 2 albums on LP. I've got a dozen or so on CD, but that just is due to the fact that I always collected in the 80s and 90s oddball 60s stuff, so I didn't collect the big names like Neil Young. This is the triple album collection, Decade. And then I have his, what I saw as his revival among the wider audience, This Note's for You, which he's protesting against endorsements, product endorsements. From the Q-Tips, Paul Young, No Parler, I Don't Speak, I Don't Talk. I believe this is from, again, getting back to my cheat sheets, 1983. Now this was given to me by my brother as he got rid of his vinyl collection, so it's not something I really listen to, but I appreciate the getting the album for my collection. Next up from the U.S., 1977, some U.S. rock, Young and Moody. Now I get to my Soul Youngbloods album, which is a compilation called Sunlight. Which has all the big hits. This is an odd album by Your Gang, 1966. If you want to buy them, sort of a pop, but it's a real oddball album. Obviously, imitating Fidel's Revolution with the beards and the fatigues. Paraguayan album from I believe originally from the 60s, but this is clearly a 70s album by Felix de Ipacaray and his Paraguayans. I always like to get ethnic music from around the world, especially Latin America and Africa. Another ethnic album, this time on Epic. Yugoslav Rhapsody, Yugoslav folk songs. So I'm not as big on getting ethnic music from Europe, but I have a bit of a selection. Of course, language is a barrier there, but you could always appreciate the beats. This is one that was given to me by a friend. I listened to it once. It was funny, but I'm not into comedy albums so much. This is from Yuck Yucks, The Funniest 50 Minutes Ever. Last two. Again, my ethnic music. Julia sings Kalinka Russian folk songs, and this is on Monitor. I have lots of Monitor label folk albums. Last one, a French singer-songwriter from France. Looks like from the 70s, Jacques Evart. And that brings me up to the end of my Ys. I've done the X, Y, and Z's up till now. And I will continue producing videos about my collection, what I call my legacy collection, as well as my new purchases. At some point in time, I'll show off some of my CDs, but they're not quite as well organized as my LPs. So that's it for now. Thanks very much for tuning in. Please leave your comments below, and I will try to answer them as I'm able. Okay, so have a good day. Bye-bye.